Good morning, everyone, and happy Sunday to you. And for those of you who are enjoying the Passover today, God bless you all. Today it's a beautiful sunny day, and I'm just going to enjoy it for now while we have the beautiful sun. I'm just going to take you around and show you what my husband and I have finished. We haven't got it finished, but it's the outside of it's finished, I guess. And we've got to put on a door, put down some, what do they call that? Something to put on the ground to keep the weeds up and keep the weeds from growing up. And then he'll build me my planter boxes, and then I get my soil, and then Lord willing I'll get my seeds planted. So I'm just going to take a walk. I'm going to turn this around one moment. Here we go. Let me go walk down these steps safely. There we go. I'm going to take you. It's not fancy. Lord willing, it's going to be deer proof. We're going to make it quite full so they can't see a place to run in. This is going to be our door. And so it's okay for me because I'm short. As you can see, okay, I just barely will touch it. And yeah. So that is done. I think Zane said it was at 24 by 16 or it's a 16 by 20. Either way. Here are some plants. I went out and I got some rhubarb from a friend a few miles away. Look. Wow. I just love watching things grow. Do you? That's just my amazing things that I love. Just watching them grow. And here's my beautiful, whatever they are. If you know what they are, let me know. Maybe these ones will be a little bit better. We had rain yesterday. There you go. Now, if you can tell me what they are, let me know. Oh, anyway, I'm so excited about this. That's a couple of days ago we did that, and yeah, I'm just really excited about it. These are starting to come. They may not bloom this year or something, but I'm not sure. Anyway, enough of that. Let me go over here and have a sit down on these old blocks. Or better yet, I can get up here in the sun. So what was your weekend like? Mine was good. We had just a bunch of ladies in yesterday. I went to just a greenhouse that a couple have, and they're just growing for themselves. One year apparently they grew flowers, and people were trying to dicker them down on their prices, and you put a lot of money into those things. But anyway, so they're just doing the vegetable gardens. We were there just all having a great time, singing and getting to know one another. I think there was about 14 of us. Had some tea and coffee and some great sweets and fruit. So that's how I spent a couple of hours yesterday. And gave me some time alone with these ladies, which was amazing. just a little bit more to share about me. As I mentioned, I've had cancer 3 times. When I was married when I was 18, and I'll just share the first story today, I guess. And I was so excited to try to have children. That's all I think I ever wanted. It was to have children. And 3 years I tried. And when that time would come around monthly, I would cry. And my husband, being a hard worker, would sleep. I did that for 3 years until I went to my gynecologist, and he was going to send me in for a dye test, and he was going to give me some medication to take, and I would see him at the hospital. But then I was called back in right quickly before I left, and he wanted to do one more test. And at that time, he found tumors the size of grapefruit on one ovary and some on another. A month later, I was booked in the hospital with the hopes that he had told me that possibly I'd still would have children. And but 3 months after this surgery, I was told that it was cancerous, so he said if I got pregnant that I would die, or the baby and I would die, or the baby would die. My husband and I, Zane really wanted me to have the surgery, and so I agreed with him. But years later, I wish I had never, because you don't know what may have happened. I may have had a child and maybe not. But I will tell you, anyone that has to have a hysterectomy at the age of 21, it has 31 years of having hot flashes. Now, guys, I know that you don't really understand hot flashes, but the hot flashes at the age of 21, well, normally a woman wouldn't have them in, some might have them in their late, like almost 40, but most people have them in their 40s or later 40s. It just depends. Everybody's different. So, again, I had it at the age of 21, and I was on a drug to keep, you need all this drug. You lose bone loss, which I did anyway. I lost a lot of bone loss. And, sorry, I'm not looking at you. I'm just thinking about the time. There was bone loss, and there was a lot of, I had heart flutter a lot, and apparently it can also cause you to have a heart attack, which I have never had. And I've been tested by stress tests and ultrasound on my chest. Now, they said my heart looks beautiful, which I thank God for. Because at the moment my husband he's been diagnosed with an enlarged aorta. So we're just kind of waiting to see the doctor on that. And so anyway, God is in control of everything, right? we're only guaranteed this minute, this moment. And, but because I had this, my life changed again when I was too young to adopt children. I was only 21. You have to be 25 in Canada. I don't know about other countries. 25, and but my husband was old enough, of course. He's 7.5 years older than I am, and a very kind gentleman, which I love and I'm thankful for. Our anniversary is tomorrow, our 52nd year. And but anyway, with this, I was notified that I could become a foster parent, which I became. The first little one that came into our home, which still is part of our life. She is my daughter by choice, and we have raised her as such. She came when she was in June. She would have turned 8 the end of October that year. And all but, well, I will just say she is 56. And so I was raised, she's like 13.5 years younger than I am. So when she got into the teenage years, it was a little bit harder for me. And parents, we want the best for our children, but sometimes, many times, I'll say, we make mistakes. And I've made so many mistakes, which I thank God that He's forgiven me for just my attitudes and the way I've reacted to how they reacted. But we all face those challenges when we raise children. So anyway, she was our first child that I raised. Now, in 81, we adopted a little boy who was 8 days old. And in 86, we adopted a little girl who was 30 days old. So, with our firstborn, the first one we adopted, Robin, our first one that we got, is like 13.5 years or 14 years older than her brother. And then, so it's kind of like her and I with him. And anyway, so that is that part of it. I will tell you that about a few years after I had the surgery, I had to go back to the gynecologist and ask him. Now, you won't believe this. I had to go back and ask him. I had never been depressed. And, well, of course, I was always laughing and singing and just enjoying life and never knew anything about depression. Well, I went back to him, Dr. McKay, one day, and I said to him, "Can you please tell me if this drug can cause depression?" I said, and the reason why I'm asking that, now don't you laugh, is because I think I'm acting like an itch, but put a B on that, right? And he said, yeah. Well, that would have been nice to know when he gave it to me. So I would have been prepared and had something to take for a while, for many years, for 31 years. So anyway, that's a little bit of that story, and I think that's where I'll leave you today. I'm going to go get myself a mushroom coffee and come out here in the sun and sit down and enjoy it. But I hope that you have a blessed day and that you love one another with all your heart, your family, and don't let little things get in the way of being the best you can be. Okay? And please leave a comment, and we'll talk to you again. Have a great day.